Good evening, everyone. We're going to get started. Good evening. We're getting ready to get started.
Let's hit the video.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's budget hearing for the proposed fiscal year 2025-2026 city trial budget. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce our interpreter and our staff with us here today. So my name is Ginger Spencer, and I'm a Deputy City Manager with the City of Phoenix. I also have our Councilwoman for District 5, Councilwoman Betty Guardado, and then I also have our Deputy Budget and Research Director, Aaron Mertz, with us. And for doing our interpretation this evening, we have Mario Barajas, Elsie Duarte, and Caprice Moreno. Mario?
Thank you, Ginger. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mario Barajas, and I'm going to be one of the three interpreters for the Spanish speakers this evening. I'm going to introduce ourselves now to our Spanish speakers. Muy buenas tardes. Bienvenido a nuestra Junta Municipal para el Presupuesto. Queremos avisarles de que, primeramente, más que nada, si acaso van a dar un comentario público aquí, se les pide de que puedan hablar de una manera lenta. No es necesario hacer pausas, pueden hacer un comentario completo y posteriormente un servidor les va a estar interpretando. Muchas gracias. Thank you, Ginger.
Yes, Mario. Okay. And with that, I would like to introduce our Councilwoman Betty Guardado.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Buenas tardes. Good afternoon, everyone, for being here today. So I just wanted to give a little bit of a recap of everything that we've done, mainly in District 5, all the different things that we've been able to do. So first, I just want to start by thanking all of the neighborhood leaders. I know that Linda's here, Mike is here, Marcos is here. I see a lot of different people that we've been working with throughout the year. So thank you guys for making us incredibly successful on our part of the city. And I'm very proud to report that thanks to all of you coming out and speaking and talking about the needs in the budget, we were able to put $33.1 million into a new fire station that's coming into 47th Avenue and Camelback, $3 million for Maryvale Police Precinct renovation, the 19th Avenue and 27th Avenue community safety plans, and 2 new real-time operation centers that opened last year to help us navigate the challenges and the issues in that whole area. $27 million into Innovation 27, which is going to be a new school hub, and tomorrow we're going to be voting on being able to allocate more money into that. State-of-the-art facility providing education, workforce training, and job opportunities to empower the community alongside specialized programs for micro businesses and development. $62 million for kids, family, and education, $13.7 for park renovations, $14.4 for Maryvale Park Regional Pool and 2 splash pad sites, one at Oso Park and another one at Mariposa Park, $10.6 for Yucca Branch Library expansion, $3.5 for child care program, $7.5 for Breaching the Digital Divide program, extended PAC program for District 5 families, $12.5 for equity-based transportation mobility implementation. Then we also spent $57 million in affordable housing, combating homelessness and accessibility, $31 million for Helen Drake Village, $12 million for the Haven, which just opened 2-3 months ago, $14.1 for affordable housing for seniors age 55 plus, repurposing some of our old hotels. $57 million into infrastructure, $16.9 million for roadway safety projects, Vision Zero implementation, $22 million for pavement maintenance supplement, 267 gated alleys in District 5, 40 new speed humps, 60 new traffic and pedestrian signals. Then we also spent $42.6 million in community, $21.7 for the Latino Cultural Center that's coming up, 20.9 for the Grand Canalscape for all of you that were there last weekend. That's been amazing. It runs from 47th Avenue all the way to 75th Avenue. 5,500 plus backpacks given away, over 4,000 turkeys given away. Thousands of toys were given to the community, 25,000 in attendance to El Grito celebrations that we do. And we have a new aquatic center that we will definitely be seeing right behind us here. Throughout the whole city, we will have the only heated pool in the city of Phoenix. So we will have a year-round pool where we're very excited about that. And today we're just here to hear from you guys on what are some of the new things that we should be working on, or should we be advocating for more of what we are already doing. And I just kind of talk about the thousands and thousands of trees that we've also planted here in District 5. When it comes to heat, we also are doing a lot of the paving here in the district. So there's a lot of work that has been done and that we will continue to do when it comes to heat, when it comes to road maintenance, and when it comes to security, and making sure that we continue to make our district a lot safer. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Councilwoman, and congratulations. You've been busy. A lot of great things to report there, so congratulations. I'd like to thank all of the city staff that are here this evening and all the residents who turned out this evening. We've got a full house. And so if you have comments for this evening and you have not turned in a card yet, please make sure you get a card from this table so that we can call your name this evening. Okay, so the feedback that we received today is important as we finalize the proposed trial budget to present to City Council. We want your input to be heard and considered before the budget is approved. The proposed budget will be presented to the City Council on May 6th and voted on May 21st. Information on the proposed budget is available in the tabloid at the main table and is available in English and Spanish. Please visit our website also if you'd like more information at phoenix.gov/budget. If you wish to speak at today's hearing on the proposed budget, again, please fill out a comment card. And if you wish to leave a comment but not speak, you can fill out a comment card and select no to speak. All right, so with that, we are going to present our video. We're going to do it first in English, and then we'll do it in Spanish. So it'll take a moment just to click over from English to Spanish. Thank you.
The city of Phoenix thrives because of the services we all rely on, from keeping our neighborhoods safe to offering enriching programs and maintaining vital infrastructure. And like any well-run household, planning for the future starts with the budget. Right now, the city of Phoenix is developing its budget for the fiscal year 2025-2026, a roadmap of how we'll allocate resources to best serve our community. This isn't a process that happens overnight. Throughout the year, city departments work hard to estimate the costs of maintaining the services we currently enjoy. Then in March, the city manager proposes a preliminary budget, a trial budget, that carefully balances estimated resources with projected expenses. This important document is now ready for everyone to look at. Your voice matters. In April, the city actively seeks your input through community budget hearings, by phone, email, and even on social media. This feedback is crucial to ensuring the budget reflects the priorities of our residents and the City Council. Then in May, the City Council will carefully consider all this input before voting on the budget, with legal adoption scheduled in June. Finally, the property tax levy ordinance will be adopted in early July. To understand the budget, it's helpful to know how it's structured. Think of it as three main accounts. The general fund is like our main checking account. It supports many of the core services you see every day: our libraries, parks, senior and youth programs, and critical police and fire services. This fund is made up of revenue from things like general sales tax, property taxes, and a portion of state income, sales, and vehicle taxes, as well as some fines and fees. Then there are enterprise funds. These operate more like businesses, charging those who directly use their services. This includes departments like Water Services, Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport, and Solid Waste. Finally, special revenue funds are like accounts with specific instructions. These funds are earmarked for particular purposes, often coming from grants or voter-approved sales taxes dedicated to things like parks and preserves, transportation, and public safety. Now let's talk about the current budget situation. Like many cities, Phoenix is facing some financial headwinds. Over the next few years, we're looking at potential structural deficits, primarily due to actions taken at the state level and rising costs. Recently, the state eliminated the ability for cities to collect residential rental sales tax, and they also lowered the individual income tax rate. These changes mean less ongoing revenue coming into the city. But this is where careful planning and proactive measures come in. Our city staff and leadership have been working diligently to find solutions to ensure we maintain a balanced budget as required by state law and to ensure the city can continue to deliver to residents existing services without cutting programs or filled jobs to balance the budget. To make sure the budget can stay balanced, offset the losses from state actions to reduce our revenues, provide the necessary resources to protect current programs, and provide the funds necessary for critical adds to the budget, several strategies are included in this trial budget. The City Council voted on March 18th to increase the transaction privilege tax rate from 2.3% to 2.8% effective July 1st, 2025. This will generate revenue to pay for programs and services. Reprioritize the current general fund budget to reduce expenditures without impacting service delivery or filled jobs, and provide capacity to add higher priority items. Set aside projected resources to help balance future budgets and protect against any economic slowdown or further impacts from the state to limit local control and further reduce our revenues. Use excise tax proceeds to finance large public safety capital and infrastructure projects, including 2 new fire stations and additional apparatus. Now let's talk about what this budget means for some key services. For the Phoenix Fire Department, there's a proposal for additional funding to reduce emergency response times. This includes hiring more firefighters to staff existing and new fire stations and new apparatus. Addressing homelessness remains a critical priority. The proposed budget includes revised estimates of $4.5 million in general fund resources for the Office of Homeless Solutions in 2025-26. This funding is needed because some of the federal pandemic-era funding is ending. This money will help continue shelter operations at places like Rio Fresco, the Phoenix Center, and the Washington Shelter, as well as support heat relief efforts for our unsheltered neighbors. Looking ahead, the budget $6 million addition to the non-general fund budget for the Water Services Department. Fund the reopening of the Cave Creek Water Reclamation Plant, allowing the city ensuring we can meet future needs. Thoughtful strategies aimed at addressing the financial challenges services that make Phoenix a great place to live, work, and visit. Our city employees, from our dedicated first responders, professionals managing our parks and libraries, are deeply committed to serving this community and always have your best interests at heart. They work hard every day to ensure Phoenix remains a vibrant and thriving city. We understand that discussing budget figures can sometimes know that the City of Phoenix has a long history of responsible budgeting. By engaging in this process together with your input and the careful work of city professionals, we are confident that we will continue to deliver the essential services you expect and deserve, building a stronger Phoenix for tomorrow. la municipalidad hasta ofrecer programas enriquecedores y mantener la infraestructura vital. Y como en cualquier hogar bien administrado, la planificación del futuro comienza con el presupuesto. En este momento, la Municipalidad de Phoenix está desarrollando su presupuesto para el año fiscal 2025-2026, una hoja de ruta de cómo asignaremos recursos para servir mejor a nuestra comunidad. Este proceso no sucede de un día para otro. Durante el año, los departamentos de la ciudad trabajan arduamente para calcular los costos de mantener los servicios que disfrutamos actualmente. Luego, en marzo, el administrador municipal propone un presupuesto preliminar, el presupuesto sugerido, que equilibra cuidadosamente los recursos calculados y los gastos proyectados. Este documento importante ya está listo para que todos los revisen. Su voz es importante. En abril, la ciudad busca su opinión mediante audiencias comunitarias, por teléfono, correo electrónico e incluso en las redes sociales. Los comentarios son fundamentales para asegurarse de que el presupuesto refleje las prioridades de nuestros residentes y el Consejo Municipal. Luego, en mayo, el Consejo Municipal considera todos esos comentarios antes de votar sobre el presupuesto con la adopción legal programada en junio. Finalmente, la ordenanza que establece el impuesto sobre bienes inmuebles se adoptará a principios de julio. Para comprender el presupuesto, es útil conocer su estructura. Piense en él como 3 cuentas principales. El Fondo General es como nuestra cuenta de cheques principal. Apoya muchos de los servicios básicos que usted ve todos los días. Nuestras bibliotecas, parques, programas para jóvenes y personas mayores y servicios fundamentales de policía y bomberos. Este fondo está compuesto por ingresos de cosas como el impuesto general a las ventas, impuestos a la propiedad y una parte de los impuestos estatales a la renta, a las ventas y a los vehículos, además de algunas multas y tarifas. Luego están los fondos de las empresas. Estos operan más como comercios, cobrando a quienes usan directamente sus servicios. Esto incluye a departamentos como servicios de agua, el Aeropuerto Internacional Phoenix Sky Harbor y residuos sólidos. Finalmente, los fondos de ingresos especiales son como cuentas con instrucciones específicas. Estos fondos están destinados para fines específicos y a menudo provienen de subvenciones o de impuestos sobre las ventas aprobadas por los votantes destinados a cosas como parques y reservas, transporte y seguridad pública. Ahora hablemos sobre la situación presupuestal actual. Como muchas ciudades, Phoenix se enfrenta a vientos financieros en contra. En los próximos años nos encontraremos con posibles déficits estructurales, principalmente debido a las medidas tomadas a nivel estatal y el aumento de costos. Específicamente, el Estado eliminó la posibilidad de que las ciudades recauden impuestos sobre las ventas de alquiler residencial a partir de enero del 2025 y también ha reducido la tasa del impuesto sobre la renta individual. Estos cambios significan que hay menos ingresos continuos para la ciudad, pero aquí es donde entra la planificación cuidadosa y las medidas proactivas. Nuestro personal y liderazgo de la ciudad han estado trabajando para encontrar soluciones para garantizar que mantengamos un presupuesto equilibrado, como lo exige la ley estatal, y para garantizar que la ciudad pueda seguir proporcionando a los residentes los servicios existentes sin recortar programas o puestos de empleados de la ciudad para equilibrar el presupuesto. Para garantizar que el presupuesto pueda mantenerse equilibrado, compensar las pérdidas por las acciones estatales para reducir nuestros ingresos, proporcionar los recursos necesarios para proteger los programas actuales y proporcionar los fondos necesarios para adiciones fundamentales al presupuesto, se incluyen varias estrategias en este presupuesto sugerido. El Consejo Municipal votó el 18 de marzo para aumentar la tasa del impuesto de privilegio de transacción del 2.3% al 2.8% a partir del 1 de julio del 2025. Esto generará ingresos para pagar programas y servicios. Reordenar las prioridades del presupuesto actual del Fondo General para reducir los gastos sin afectar la prestación de servicios ni los puestos cubiertos y brindar capacidad para agregar elementos de mayor prioridad. Reservar recursos proyectados para ayudar a balancear los presupuestos futuros y protegernos contra cualquier desaceleración económica o impactos adicionales del Estado para limitar el control local y reducir aún más nuestros ingresos. Utilizar los ingresos del impuesto especial para financiar grandes proyectos de capital e infraestructura de seguridad pública, incluidas 2 nuevas estaciones de bomberos y equipos adicionales. Ahora, hablemos sobre lo que este presupuesto significa para algunos servicios clave. Para el Departamento de Bomberos de Phoenix, hay una propuesta de financiamiento adicional para reducir los tiempos de respuesta a emergencias. Esto incluye la contratación de más bomberos para el personal en las estaciones existentes y nuevas y también para operar aparatos nuevos. La falta de vivienda sigue siendo una prioridad crítica. El presupuesto propuesto incluye cálculos revisados de 4.5 millones en recursos del Fondo General para la Oficina de Soluciones para Personas Sin Hogar en el 2025-2026. Este financiamiento es necesario porque algunos fondos federales de la época de la pandemia están terminando. Este dinero ayudará a continuar las operaciones de refugio en lugares como Río Fresco, el Phoenix Navigation Center y el Refugio Washington, así como también apoyará a los esfuerzos de alivio del calor para nuestros vecinos sin refugio. Viendo hacia adelante, el presupuesto también propone una adición de 5.6 millones al presupuesto del Fondo No General para el Departamento de Servicios de Agua. Esto financiaría reabrir la planta de recuperación de agua Cave Creek, lo que permitirá que la ciudad amplíe su capacidad de tratamiento de aguas residuales y purificación de agua, garantizando que podamos satisfacer las necesidades futuras. Estas son estrategias que podrían ayudar a los desafíos financieros mientras se protegen los servicios vitales que hacen de Phoenix un gran lugar para vivir, trabajar y visitar. Nuestros empleados municipales, desde nuestros socorristas dedicados hasta los profesionales que administran nuestros parques y bibliotecas, están comprometidos a servir a esta comunidad y siempre toman en cuenta sus mejores intereses. Trabajan todos los días para garantizar que Phoenix siga siendo una ciudad vibrante y próspera. Entendemos que hablar de las cifras del presupuesto algunas veces puede ser agotante. Pero sepa que la Municipalidad de Phoenix tiene una larga historia de creación de presupuestos responsables. Al participar en este proceso juntos, con sus comentarios y el trabajo cuidadoso de los profesionales de la ciudad, estamos seguros de que seguiremos brindando los servicios esenciales que usted espera y merece, construyendo un Phoenix más fuerte.
Okay, all right, let's try that again. We will now start to announce the names of the individuals who've submitted cards to speak tonight. Everyone will have 2 minutes. We invite you to come up to the microphone on our right, and then the time keeper is to our left. And so with that, I'll turn it back over to the councilwoman.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you for the video. We're going to get started with Jorge Castañeda.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Councilwoman Betty Guardado. Thank you for all the hard work that you've done in the last year. Today, I would like to speak about 2 topics. First of all, there's been a study done, and we found out through that study that Indian School Road is one of the most dangerous roads in Arizona. We have a speeding problem, major speeding problem. And last year I was here talking about it. And our sister cities, City of Avondale, they've implemented photo enforcement cameras to help fight this problem. And it's working for them. Last year I was here speaking about this. We could take these funds that are collected, this will change behavior, and we could give it to our first responders. We could give it to the Phoenix PD, Phoenix Fire Department. They are understaffed and under budget. We need to start fighting and start using technology. If you guys could Google this, but on Saturday, there was a 2-year-old toddler in Michigan. He went missing at nighttime. Within a few hours, he was found. The toddler was only wearing a diaper. The high for that day was 40 degrees. He was found within a couple hours using heat-seeking technology. All right? So we have to use technology to fight crime. We have to get in front of it. The second part that I would like extra funding for District 5 over on 75th Avenue in Indian School. We have an intense treatment substance abuse clinic that they get money from the state to help people with drug addiction and other problems. Just there to get the high, and then they're right back in the streets. And we have a major problem with that. So I would like extra funding for that, extra Phoenix PD out there. Thank you for your time.
I'll take that from you, but if you can just talk to our departments in the back, to Rachel. Is Rachel here? Rachel and I have already spoken about one of these issues, and then around infrastructure, I know we have staff back there that can give you an update on all of that.
Thank you.
Thank you. From there, we're going to move on to Marco Marcial.
Hola, buenas tardes a todos. ¿Cuántos mexicanos, hispanos están aquí? Bienvenidos. ¿Viven en Maryvale ustedes? Sí. Qué bueno. Entonces, ¿conocen a Betty Guardado? Ok, perfecto. Una de mis mayores metas cuando yo me moví a Maryvale era vivir mejor, estar mejor, darle buena vida a mis hijos. Y lo logré. Encontré Maryvale, no era el Maryvale de hace 20 años, era un Maryvale diferente. Más cuando empecé a asociarme con Betty, me dio la oportunidad de trabajar en mi barrio. Pudimos poner rejas en los callejones, quitamos el 99.9 de homeless viviendo en callejones. En días pasados se pusieron 1000 rejas. Gracias a Betty por su trabajo tan duro. Ustedes también, cada uno de ustedes por trabajar y avisar sus problemas. Necesitamos gente como ustedes que quieran mejorar sus vecindarios. Más es cuestión de todos y cada uno de nosotros.
Gracias.
You gotta sit here.
Mario, did you catch that by any chance?
I did, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. How many Mexicans are here? Welcome. Do you live in Maryvale? That's good. So you all know Betty Guardado, right? Okay, perfect. One of my biggest goals when I moved to Maryvale was to live a better life, live better here, and give my kids a good life. And I accomplished it. I found Maryvale. It's not the same Maryvale what it was 20 years ago. Back then it was different. Especially now that I started meeting with Betty. She started working in my neighborhood, and we were able to install gates in the alleyways. We removed 99.9% homeless people living in these alleys. In the past days, we accomplished 1,000 gates, thanks to Betty for her hard work. And thanks to you as well, each one of you, for working and letting us know of your problems. We need people like you that want to make their neighborhoods better. It's not an issue, it's not only on Betty's shoulders, it's on all of our shoulders. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Now we're going to go to Scott Crowley.
Good evening, Councilwoman. Good evening, Deputy City Manager Spencer. My name's Scott Crowley. I'm a firefighter, and I just want to take a few minutes and acknowledge the funding that's been put in because of the TPT and excise tax. I've worked in Maryvale for over 20 years. I work at Station 25 right over at 63rd and Indian School. And in the last 20 years, we've added over 300,000 people, 15 years, 300,000 people, citizens to the city of Phoenix. And we haven't kept pace with the resources that we need as firefighters to support our community and take care of you as citizens. So this is a step in the right direction along with the GO bond, but we still need more resources. We still need to reduce our response times. When you call 911, if you have to wait more than 4 or 5 minutes, there's life-changing effects that happen to your loved ones, and we as firefighters want to serve our community and do the best we can to protect you. I also want to acknowledge the gentleman that went before. I've worked this area a long time. Those gates are making a difference. We've seen less fires that spread to people's houses. Obviously, sometimes they don't have insurance, and the damage that's done by those alley fires is life-changing for those members, so those gates and those fences are making a real difference. So thank you guys all.
Thank you so much, Scott. Now, we're going to go to Daniel Gonzalez.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Danny Gonzalez. First and foremost, I just want to start with a message of gratitude. I want to start with a message of gratitude from Mayor Kate Gallego, the members of the Phoenix City Council, City Manager Jeff Barton, and the leadership of the Phoenix Fire Department. You guys worked really hard to get the TPT passed. We realize the amount of work and effort that you guys put into that, and especially in the Phoenix Fire Department, we're extremely grateful of that. We know that that's just a start to the work that's ahead of us, but we really, really appreciate that. We want to extend that gratitude to you guys. I stand before you guys today as a 17-year veteran in the Phoenix Fire Department. I grew up in this neighborhood. I swam in that pool. I grew up in the Starlight Park Little League, Holiday Park Little Leagues, played football in that field right there. And now I serve proudly in the Phoenix Fire Department. We want to serve you guys better. We need the community's support. We need the continued support of the council so that we can continue to grow this fire department and keep pace with the growth of this city. We've fallen behind, and we need to continue support from you guys. We work tirelessly to provide the services to you guys because we know that your community needs it. We need your continued support. We want to thank you guys for the work that you continue to do. I know I'm passionate. I come up here and I'm passionate about it, but I'm truly, this district, this community has a special place in my heart. I grew up in this neighborhood. For lack of a better term, I ran these streets. You know, I grew up roller skating in Rolero. I mean, this has a special place in my heart. I served at the same fire station, Scott Crowley, for over 7 years before I went into my current role now. And I want to tell you guys that there's so many firefighters, men and women that serve in the Phoenix Fire Department that just want to be able to provide for you guys the services that we train so hard to be good at. And we need your continued support, and we need your continued support. I just want to thank you guys for your time tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now we're going to go to Mónica Barrientos.
Good afternoon. My name is Monica, and I'm an organizer with Poder in Action. And I'm here today to ask Councilmember Betty Guardado to make the commitment to support the resolution for thriving communities. The resolution contains 4 directives from City Council to Phoenix PD that will help protect our community, which are to implement cite and release practices for all nonviolent offenses, to end traffic stops for low-level violations, to end stops for the use of sanctioned and unsanctioned quotas for arrest, citations, and stops. We have a right to decide tax dollars are used for, and therefore asking that our money does not get used to enable racial profiling or fund deportations. Councilmember Guardado, as your constituents, we're asking for your support of the resolution. We're asking that you do what is right for your constituents and for all Phoenix residents. As you know, the DOJ department report that investigated Phoenix PD was published last summer. This report confirmed what your community members have been telling you. Phoenix PD discriminates, uses excessive force, and violates your civil rights on a daily basis. What are you going to do to protect our community and to protect your constituents? Thank you.
Laura Rodríguez.
Hola, ¿qué tal a todos? Mi nombre es Laura Rodríguez y venimos a pedir una resolución, ¿verdad? Tenemos muchas inquietudes y vengo hablando por la voz de mi comunidad. Somos un grupo de padres preocupados por la situación que estamos viviendo en este momento. Pedimos que si nos llega para la policía, que si estamos seguros y estamos de acuerdo en que si violamos alguna ley, que nos den un ticket, ¿verdad? Pero lo que estamos pidiendo es no seamos detenidos y llevados, ¿verdad? Por una causa que es mínima, ¿verdad? No es algo tan grave que podemos solucionarlo aquí. Entonces pedimos que no nos lleven detenidos a la Cuarta Avenida. Todos sabemos dónde queda la Cuarta Avenida y qué es lo que hay, ¿verdad? Entonces, yo estoy segura que cada uno de ustedes, igual que yo, tenemos una historia. Entonces, mi historia es, si a mí me llega para la policía, ¿verdad? Y me da un ticket, creo injusto que yo tengo 35 años aquí, no he, por una o por otra cosa, ¿verdad? No he podido solucionar mi estatus, pero creo que no es algo que tenga que yo ser deportada por un solo ticket. Entonces, creo yo que me identifico con algunos de ustedes a lo mejor. Entonces, esa es mi inquietud y es mi preocupación como madre de familia, ¿verdad? Entonces, le pedimos el apoyo a nuestra concejal. He escuchado muy buenos comentarios de ella y gracias por su tiempo estar aquí, por haber escuchado a todos nosotros y realmente creo yo y estoy segura que podemos sentir ese apoyo de todos ustedes. Gracias.
Hello, my name is Laura Rodriguez. We're here to ask for a resolution. We have lots of concerns, and I'm here speaking from my community as parents. We're concerned, things that we're going through at this moment. We're requesting that if the police happens to pull us over, we're sure that if we do violate some type of law, traffic law, it's okay to ticket us, give us a ticket, but don't detain us for something so simple, something that's not as serious. So we're asking for us not to be detained and taken over to, we all know where 4th Avenue, what's at 4th Avenue, right? So I'm sure that each one of you, as well as me, we have a story. So my story is, if I were to get pulled over by the police and if I get ticketed, I think it's unfair me being here for 35 years. For one reason or another, I haven't been able to resolve my status. But I don't think that that's something that I'd be deportable just for a simple ticket. So I think that I identify myself like you guys. So that's my concern as a mother of a family. So we asked for our councilwoman for support. I've heard good things about her, and thank you for your time for being here and for having to listen to all of us. And honestly, I do think, and I'm sure, that we can feel that support from all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Lupita Mora.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Lupe Mora y estamos aquí, como ustedes ven, como comunidad apoyando esta resolución para comunidades sanas, que tengamos comunidades sanas, prósperas, que no queremos que ningún dólar de nuestros impuestos vayan a situaciones de que paren a nuestra gente, que las deporten, que sean encarceladas. Betty, como hija de migrante, estamos pensando cómo nos apoyaría usted como comunidad, como persona igual que nosotros, emigrante o de familias inmigrantes, y de qué manera podría tomar nuestra preocupación de nuestra gente, de su gente, de su comunidad, gente que la hemos apoyado para que esté en este lugar donde se encuentra. Gracias.
Gracias.
Good afternoon, my name is Lupe Mora, and we're here, as you can see, as a community, supporting this resolution so that to have safe, healthy communities, prosperous ones. We don't want a single dollar of our taxes go to situations where they stop our people, detain them, deport them, get them jailed. And Betty, you as a daughter of an immigrant, we're thinking, how would you support us as a community, you being a person like us, an immigrant, or of a descendant of an immigrant, and how would you be able to face our concern? Your people from our community, we're people that have supported you so that you can be in your position where you're at. Thank you.
Thank you. And Yolanda Barrera.
Buenas noches a todos ustedes, mi nombre es Yolanda Barrera. Pues solamente estamos aquí para que la señorita Betty Guardado nos apoye con la resolución que tenemos, porque no queremos que nuestros taxes, porque pagamos taxes todos, que se vayan a, pues ahora sí que para que nos deporten nuestros hijos, nuestra familia, porque pues estamos, o sea, todos tenemos un propósito de estar aquí, solamente es vivir, trabajar para nuestros hijos, para hacer una comunidad próspera y pues solamente para recordarle que no nos olvide que usted es una hija de una familia inmigrante y que nos apoye y que pues por último que a ver qué medidas puede tomar para que no nos afecte en nada todo lo que puede venir o nos puede pasar. Muchas gracias.
Good evening to everybody. My name is Yolanda Barrera. So we're all here so that Betty Guardado would support us with the resolution that we have, because we don't want our taxes, because we do pay for our kids, our families, because we all have a sole purpose of being here. It's just live, work for our kids, and be a prosperous community, and just simply remind you not to forget us. You're the daughter of an immigrant. We ask for you to support us. And lastly, we'd like for you to see what measures you could look into so that we won't be affected by what's to come or what could happen. Thank you very much.
Mary.
Hello, good evening. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you, members of the community, and also with Betty. I'm bilingual. I speak both English and Spanish. And the reason I'm here is because I don't want my taxes to separate families. I don't want my taxes for innocent people to be incarcerated. And my story is on Facebook. And this is some of my son. This is my son, Jonathan Daniel Mary. He has mental disabilities. He has autism, cognitive disability at 4th grade and 6th grade level. Also medical conditions like schizophrenia, bipolar. He has asthma. He suffers from severe migraines. He has to take medications all the time. He carries an inhaler. And recently he was sentenced to 17 years in prison. He qualifies for Rule 11. He's not competent. And I think this is a case of discrimination, just because of the way we look. My son, Jonathan Daniel Mary, was born here. He's a U.S. citizen. But you see, this is my son. He looks, Hispanic. I think just because the way he looks, he's been sentenced to 17 years in prison. And it's very hard for him to survive over there. He has to take medications all the time. And if you don't know what is to be in prison like, no family visits. If Betty can help us, to have family visits to people in prisons in Phoenix. There's no, I don't know, you knew, nobody can visit anybody. My son was there for almost a year. I couldn't see him. Now he is transferred to another one, and I'm waiting to visit him. I'm always worried that he's not going to make it, that he's not going to survive. Betty, please help us, that this, doesn't happen. I don't want my taxes, and I don't think you guys want your taxes, to use for something like this, for this injustice. Thank you.
Estela Varela.
Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes al concejal Betty Cordado y a todas las personas que están aquí. Como ya escucharon, ¿verdad? A las personas que están aquí, la comunidad, estamos haciendo, tenemos una resolución para todas las personas que por alguna razón no tenemos un estatus. Tenemos una resolución donde si tenemos un ticket menor no seamos arrestados, ¿verdad? Queremos que el Consejo apruebe para garantizar que nuestras comunidades lleguen a casas seguras al final del día. Necesitamos decirles que no queremos que nuestros impuestos se destinen a perfiles raciales y deportaciones por parte de la policía, que es lo que estamos hablando en nuestra resolución. Queremos saber qué va a hacer usted, Betty, para protegernos a su comunidad. Sabemos que aquí hay mucho perfil racial y que por solo nuestro color de piel vamos a ser detenidos. Pero queremos una resolución donde no sea nuestra piel, nuestro color de piel, y sea nada más que nos arresten nada más por eso, por no tener una licencia, porque tenemos un foco quebrado en nuestro carro o un vidrio quebrado, y seamos detenidos, arrestados y llevados a la Cuarta Avenida. Y sabemos que en la Cuarta Avenida está ICE. Creo que no nos merecemos que si pagamos impuestos, que si tenemos una buena conducta moral de estar aquí, seamos deportados después de tantos años y con nuestros hijos aquí sufriendo porque vamos a ser deportados. Queremos negociar, queremos que pase una resolución donde nos sintamos nosotros más seguros, ¿verdad? Si yo voy manejando y sé que la policía viene detrás de mí porque ya sabe que soy de este color y a lo mejor no tengo documentos, que nada más quede en un ticket. Que yo me sienta segura de que si me para la policía, sé que me va a dar un ticket porque mi foco está roto o porque no tengo licencia. Pero no creo que esas cosas sean para deportarme, porque estoy cumpliendo con lo que piden aquí en Estados Unidos, que es una buena conducta moral y pagar mis impuestos. Y le estamos pidiendo para que el Consejo pueda pasar una resolución. Gracias.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Councilwoman Betty Guardado and everybody that's here. As you've heard already, people that are here in the community, we have a resolution for everybody that for one reason or another we don't have a status. So we have a resolution where if we get a minor ticket, that we don't get arrested. We want to be sure that at the end of the day we can go back to our homes. We need to tell you that we don't want our taxes to be destined to racial profiling by the police. That's what we're talking about in our resolution. So we want to know, what are you, Betty, going to do to protect your community? We know that there is a lot of racial profiling just because of the color of our skin. That's going to be the reason why we get detained. And this resolution, we don't want the color of our skin be the reason for to get arrested, just because of the fact that we don't have a driver's license or a broken headlight or a broken windshield, and then us get detained, arrested, and taken to 4th Avenue. And we know what's at 4th Avenue. So I don't think that we deserve the fact that we pay taxes, and if we have a good moral conduct for being here, to be deportable after being here so many years and being, our kids being left behind, suffering just because we got deported. We want to negotiate, we want a resolution to pass where we would feel safer. Let's say I'm driving and I know that the police is behind me because they know that I'm a certain color and maybe I'm undocumented. I just want to get a simple ticket. We want to be safe. If the police stops us, get the ticket just because my headlight is broken or not having a license. So I don't think those things are deportable reasons, because of the fact that we're complying with things, with our conduct here in the United States. We have a good conduct, we're paying taxes. And so we're asking that the council could pass a resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Mike Knight.
Welcome to Betty's meeting tonight. I live in Maryvale for 63 years by the golf course, and I just got my gated alley, and I was on the pilot program in the first alley in the neighborhood. And I just got the one across the street. I just got the one across the street gated from me. And in 40 years, we used to have a break-in or crime or homelessness. I go out every day. By the end of this year, Betty's district will have, I got the gated alley, the 1,000 gated alleys. I volunteer for District 5 Council, #1 district. I encourage all residents of Maryvale to canvass their neighborhoods. You get a majority of the signatures and help fund for more money. I hope the city will give Betty's district more money to get another 1,000 gates, because I'll tell you, it cuts down the crime. We're not going out to fires and putting fires out in the trash cans and the telephone poles like last week because the homeless aren't lighting them on fire. The legal dumping. Gated alleys do work and cut crime. In Glendale, off the subject, because I work for the government, let me tell you something. They gate every alley, even if you don't want it. My alley's gated. I have a code, and if I see somebody going in there that's not in there, you get a ticket. But you do have people that leave them open, but it does cut down on the crime. I'm hoping the council takes my advice that I got broken into 10 times, but since the gated alley, I have had no riffraff, no homelessness, clean neighborhoods, safe Maryvale, speed bumps on my street. 55th and Campbell, they're putting up the yellow caution signs where people run the four-way stop sign. District 5 is amazing. They need more money to help Maryvale improve. We got the Brewer statement, but gated alleys cut crime. They cut homelessness down. They cut everything. So all you guys suggest to District 5 or the mayor to put more money on gated alleys, because it does help in every neighborhood.
All right, thank you, Mike. Shirley is next.
I love Betty. She's the best. Give her a hand. Oh, okay. I love Betty because one of the things that I have in my neighborhood is 27th Avenue. I don't know if you're aware of it, but 27th Avenue leads the nation in sex trafficking. And through some of her efforts and through some of District 4's efforts, we're cleaning it up. And we're getting out there, walking the street, not getting for the reasons that you would want. But anyway, and I just want you to know that I have seen a 12-year-old out there with the cartel making sure she does her job at 12. But that's not what I'm here for. I just want to thank Betty for what she's done there. That's tremendous. What I'm here for is, like Mike, the gated alley. I did the first gated alley in my neighborhood. when it was a gated alley program. I went around and got the petition. All I remember is one very nice little grandma crying, saying, I'm so happy now because I'm safe in my house. Because she had so many people during the day when she was alone that would come to her back door and knock or get in her yard. So it works. The other thing is the next thing I'd like to thank Parks and the police and the District 4 part. They got together. We had 60 to 70 encampments on the north side of Salito Park. And they all came and we got together, and the entire alley there is gated, and it's been clean and it's been working and it's amazing. And one of the things, again, I had a mom come up to me in tears and say, I can put my kids out in the backyard and I don't have to worry about anyone throwing dirty syringes or nasty stuff into my yard while my kids are playing. So gated alleys work, and I just want to make sure that that program stays funded so that we can get the rest of them gated, because it really makes a difference. And I didn't even think about it. He was talking about how many times he'd been broken into. I've been broken into 4 times over the back fence, okay? And once I got my alley gated, which I did mine last, by the way, but anyways, once I got mine, I have not been broken into since. So just let you know. Thank you very much.
Terry, is Terry here? Because it has a question mark. Okay. Not sure if you wanted to speak, but I thought I'd call your name.
I've decided.
Okay, perfect.
I don't have prepared statements, but I want to back up support for Phoenix Fire and Phoenix Police Department. I think our community has outpaced its growth, and we need more police and fire for emergency services. And I also want to support the individual, I don't remember his name, that talked about automated traffic control. There's times when I see 6, 8 people run a stoplight, blatantly run a stoplight in a day. And that's, to me, that is one of the worst things you can do. So I would like to see, and not just in Phoenix, or not just our neighborhood, but citywide, we need more traffic control, more traffic enforcement. So that's all I've really got right now. Thank you.
Magdalena Marín.
Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes, concejal Betty Guardado. Mi nombre es Magdalena Ávila de Marín. Soy voluntaria de Rumbo y estamos aquí porque nos enfrentamos a un problema climático, que es el calor. Y estamos en el área más caliente, que es Maryvale. Estamos tocando puertas y hablando con la gente para ver cuáles son sus inquietudes y sus necesidades. Y nos comentan que quieren más árboles, áreas verdes, sombras en las tiendas y parques, ya que mucha gente está enferma de diabetes y alta presión, y con este calor se sienten más enfermos. Ya que las temperaturas están subiendo cada vez más. Necesitamos trabajar más la ciudad y la gente juntos en mantener un clima más adecuado para las personas. Necesitamos que trabajen en el clima. Muchas gracias.
Good evening. Good evening, Councilwoman Betty Guardado. My name is Magdalena Avila de Marin. I'm a volunteer, and we're here because we're facing a climatic problem related to heat. And we're in the hottest area, which is Maryvale. We're knocking on doors and talking to people to see what their concerns are and their needs. And they tell us that they want more trees, more green spaces, shades at the stores, and parks. Since a lot of people are sick related to diabetes, high blood pressure, and with this heat, they feel even sicker. These temperatures, they're going up every year, so we need a heat. We need to work as a city and have a more adequate climate for people. We need to work on the climate. I thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll go to Amanda Kaminskas.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Amanda Kaminskas, and I've been a resident of Maryvale since 2021. I want to address an urgent issue affecting our community, the extreme heat we face here and its devastating impact on our unhoused neighbors. As part of my mutual aid efforts, I provide food, water, and essential supplies multiple days a week to those in need. I've partnered with Roombo to engage our neighbors and identify effective ways to tackle the heat crisis we experience. During my outreach, I carry a thermometer and observe the temperatures in Maryvale can be 4 to 6 degrees hotter than the rest of Phoenix. This alarming heat exacerbates an already dire situation for our most vulnerable residents who are suffering every day. I appeal to you, Councilwoman, and your genuine commitment to serving the people of District 5. Please do not forget those who are most vulnerable among us, the individuals who suffer daily on our streets in this extreme heat. Each summer, while distributing thousands of bottles of water, we encounter individuals in heat crisis, and I have tragically found people who didn't survive, some at bus stops, some in parks, and some in alleys. I've encountered people so close to death from heat stroke that they thought I was a literal angel because they were hallucinating. It breaks my heart to see our neighbors struggle to find shade and relief from the scorching sun. It is urgent that we provide more shade structures, trees, larger bus stops, man-made canopies, pavilions, and other solutions. Exposure to temperatures over 110 degrees is dangerous and often fatal. Additionally, we need more green spaces and less pavement in our neighborhoods. With the budget allocations coming up, I ask you to prioritize funding and resources for heat mitigation efforts in Maryvale. The Office of Heat Mitigation has a Phoenix plan, and it's time to have a specific Maryvale heat plan. Let's ensure we protect the most vulnerable residents from unbearable conditions. Thank you.
I would just recommend Rachel to talk to Rachel because I know there is a plan and she can explain. Rachel, are you still here? Okay. Just connecting with her about all of the different steps we're taking here in Maryvale to deal with a lot of these issues. Thank you. David Portugal.
Good evening, my name is DJ Portugal. I'm a community organizer with Chispa, Arizona, and most importantly, I'm a father. First of all, I'd like to express gratitude for the prioritizing of environmental investments in the proposed budget. When I visit high schools to speak on the importance of civic engagement, I often start by asking students, what side of town do you think is the most dangerous? Almost every time they say the south or the west side, and I tell them that they're right, but probably not for the reasons that they think. In South and West Phoenix, surface temperatures can be up to 15 degrees hotter because there's so little tree shade compared to other parts of town. And we all know in Arizona that heat is a matter of life and death. At the same time, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services reports that Latino children are about 40% more likely to die from asthma than white children. And I know that pain firsthand. As a kid, I spent nights in front of a fan struggling through asthma attacks. The next day at school was always challenging with a pounding headache and a sore chest. Air quality affected my academics and every aspect of my quality of life. And as a father of 4 small children, 2 of which also have asthma, we must do something. That's why I'm urging you to make environmental justice a priority in this year's budget, starting with investments in South and West Phoenix. I support the $10 million investment in electric buses, and I urge you to prioritize rolling them out in neighborhoods with the highest pollution levels. I also urge you to fully fund the Cool Corridors program at $7 million to bring shade and trees to overheated streets. Allocate the $1 million for new trees and parks, specifically in areas with the least shade. And target the $10 million Vision Zero funds to high fatality areas where pedestrians and cyclists are most at risk. Please support the active transportation plan implementation to build better sidewalks and bike lanes, ensuring safe mobility for everyone, including people with disabilities. And invest in shared micromobility to provide affordable, sustainable transportation options like e-bikes and scooters, improving mobility access in low-income areas. These aren't just budget lines, they're opportunities to save lives, protect children, and finally deliver long overdue investments where they're most needed. Not to mention that these opportunities come in a time when our community is subjected to racial profiling and over-policing in the name of safety. We ask you to show us that if you truly care about our safety, invest in our communities. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, so I know Michelle is here from HEAT. Nancy's also here, and I just recommend for folks to just sit down with them because I know we have plans around a lot of these things already. But thank you. Daphne Cortez.
Sorry, I'm kind of short. Okay. Hi. Hi, good evening, Councilwoman. Really nice to see you here today, and good evening to the community. I'm Daphne Cortez, and I'm a climate community organizer working here in Maryvale with the Roombo Project. First, I really want to acknowledge the City of Phoenix work to bring the community voices into the conversation. I think we're doing a really good job, and this really matters here in this community because Maryvale for a while has had a history of being overlooked. I'm also taking into consideration of all the neighbors and community people that have been here that are doing something in their community. And so I'm here today to highlight something urgent. Maryvale is the hottest area in the city on an average 4 to 6 degrees hotter than other neighborhoods on a summer day. I have been talking to residents, and what I've been hearing a lot is the need for heat-resilient public spaces, shaded walkways, cooler bus stops, and safer, more walkable streets. While there have been some great efforts, we need to see more of these projects, specifically in Maryvale. This community has been historically divested from, and now is the time to invest. Councilwoman, we know you care deeply about this community and that you're a leader on the council, and that's why we're asking for your support to invest in a dedicated planning effort to reduce extreme heat in Maryvale. We want this effort to be in partnership with the City Office of Heat Response and Mitigation and with Roombo leaders so we can work together to identify and prioritize the most needed investments. We need to partner, Roombo, the city, and community residents to make these changes a reality. Thank you.
Thank you. Rosina Uribe.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Betty Guardado. My name is Rosina Uribe, and I'm here with Roombo. I am currently a high school student at Trevor Brown High School. The reason I'm here is because I'm advocating for more funding in Maryvale City itself. The money being invested in Phoenix has helped a few places, but if you're going to invest, why not invest where it's needed the most? Compared to other cities, Maryvale is one of the hottest areas in Arizona. It is about 4 to 6 of a high school club called Helping Those in Needs, where we're collecting reusable water bottles to hand to those unhoused. But there is only so much we can do. Once again, support to make this change possible. We can gather the community, plant more trees, and make cooler spaces, but in order for that to be possible, we need your help. After I graduate, I wouldn't want to feel due to these extreme levels of heat. I am not only concerned for my community as we speak, but I am concerned for those who come after us. I wouldn't be up here asking for your help and support if it wasn't needed, but as we can see, I'm still informing you about my concerns. I hope you take what I've said into consideration, and I want to thank you all for your time. Thank you.
Samaria Winan.
Hi, Councilwoman Betty.
Current resident and artist of Maryvale and have lived here for 20 years. I care about efforts to combat in this village. I was raised here and I hope to keep living here well into my adult years, even retirement. Me every day. I use the bus to commute every day for work. It gets very hot where it makes walking a short distance difficult. Water fountains and more shade structures to shopping malls and walking distance to my home. It's hot and makes it difficult. Walking paths and shading structures in the shopping malls parking lots will make it cooler. Maryvale is a heat point, and I urge you, Councilwoman Betty, and ask for your support and vote favorably. It's important to sustain the enriched culture and community that makes up this village. The start for residents like me. Thank you.
Thank you. Josefa Ramirez.
Primero no voy a alcanzar. Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes,
Buenas
Betty
tardes.
Guardado, gusto de conocerla. Tengo 30 años viviendo aquí. Y la verdad vengo por mi grupo Rumbo, pero de todo lo que he escuchado me siento comprometida, aunque no sea Betty Guardado, a ayudar y a buscar una solución para esta área que no luce tan bonita. Cuando me invitaron a participar en el grupo me dijeron, ¿no te gustaría que se viera el área como Tempí? Y dije, pues claro que sí, claro que como es Casdel y como todos pagamos impuestos y me gustaría que mi área de Maryvale luciera tan bonita como luce en las otras partes. Pagamos impuestos igual que ellos y tenemos las mismas oportunidades, deberíamos de tenerlas. Me gustaría trabajar con usted y como usted dice que ya tiene un grupo, ¿verdad? Participar con ellos y armar un plan para que lo logremos. Gracias.
Good afternoon. I've been living here for 30 years. And to be honest, I'm here with my group, Rumbo. But from everything that I've been hearing, and asking Betty Guardado, asking for help, a solution, so that this area could improve and look pretty. When they invited me to participate in this group, they told me, wouldn't you like this area to look like Scottsdale and everything, and like everybody, we do pay taxes. So I would not like my area here, my city or I would like for Maryvale to look like these other parts. We do pay taxes like they do. That's where the applause was at. And so we would like to work with you. And like you say that you have a group already, and work with them and create a plan so that we can be united. Thank you.
Thank you. Hernan Acosta.
All right, I'll just lean in a little bit. Hi. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you all for being here, including you, Councilwoman. It's Tuesday evening. We all have to work tomorrow, and I'm just happy to see this many people here. 2 points, and then one emphasis. 1 point being, thank you for the Gated Alley program. It's been amazing, and I hope everybody continues to encourage their neighbors to utilize it. A lot of neighbors I know are kind of silent, but wish for change. So thank you guys all for being here, because clearly you care enough to be here. So thank you. Another point of emphasis is we have benefited a lot in my neighborhood by the police. So I believe that a majority of the police officers, men and women, are there to do good. Yes, they're small. There's a small population of bad apples. I could say the same about my coworkers. With that being said, the main point of emphasis is the importance of parks in our neighborhood. The parks that we've all lived through our lives. I'm sure everybody has memories of a park or two, a memory or two that are significant to your life in some way. And protecting those spaces is valuable. Me as a man who wants to have children, I want to know my wife and my dogs and my kids are safe at these places. And not having that certainty is frightening. All I ask is to continue to support park funding and to increase it. It's a good place to alleviate stress. It's a good place to exercise, and quite frankly, we all got stuff going on at home, at work, and the park is a good place to disconnect. And we all know better than anything that disconnecting from our everyday problems kind of helps us reset. Thank you.
Thank you. Luis Avila.
Buenas noches, good evening. My name is Luis Avila. I'm the co-founder of Rumbo. Councilwoman Guardado, thank you so much for the opportunity, city officials and community. According to the Rhodium Group and several studies in the last decade, by 2050, Phoenix is expected to be unlivable due to climate change. There's an opportunity for us to decide what Rumbo are we going to take, where are we going to go, how are we going to tackle this. At Rumbo, we envision a future where desert communities can adapt and thrive in this hotter world. We believe that we can actually be leaders in the rest of the world about how do we adapt and live in this desert, just like for thousands of years, indigenous communities have taught us how to. For the last year, we've been engaging residents, organizations, and city officials. And we want to thank you for your leadership and partnering on tree planting with us, Councilwoman, as well with other community organizations who have done the same with us. Also for your staff for always being open and willing to listen to us. We know Maryvale residents are resilient and that they're adapting. We're hearing in the conversations that we have that they manage their energy consumption every summer, that even sometimes their pockets are impacted because they're working less hours in the summer, and they're adapting and they're thriving in this community as much as they can. But just like the residents in Maryvale adapt, the city has to help our neighborhoods adapt too. We've identified 8 strategies that can be done in this city. We won't solve this problem just by planting trees. Our trees are not reaching maturity enough for us to have the tree canopy that we need, and we need a lot more investment in Maryvale. And we believe that the resources of the city have to be treated like medicine. Medicine that goes where it's needed the most. And right now where it's needed the most is in Maryvale. We're the hottest area in the city and we have to take urgent action. So what we're asking is to partner with the city and helping with the leadership of your office, Councilwoman, to develop a Maryvale resilient plan so that we can actually tackle these issues with more detail and more urgency. Thank you so much for your leadership and thank you everybody.
Thank you. Elsa Osorio.
Hola, buenas noches. Mi nombre es Elsa Osorio. Soy una señora de 51 años. Estoy preocupada por mi comunidad. Soy una mujer indocumentada y al igual como la policía necesita llegar a su casa, yo también necesito llegar a la mía. Ver por mi familia, ver por mis hijos y ver por mi comunidad que siempre está al pendiente del teléfono si hay una redada o si hay un familiar detenido, saber dónde localizarlo. Pienso que el budget debe de ir para tener a nuestras comunidades seguras, incluyéndonos a nosotros las personas sin documentos. Guardado, le agradezco mucho su atención el día de hoy y esperemos que nos considere a las personas que tenemos esa forma de vivir en este país sin documentos. Aún así, hemos hecho crecer esta ciudad, este país, y lo seguiremos haciendo día a día sin importarnos a nuestro estatus migratorio. Muchas gracias.
Hello, good evening. My name is Elsa Osorio. I'm a 51-year-old woman. I'm concerned for my community. I'm an undocumented woman, and just like the police that needs to go home, at the end of the day. Me, myself, I need to get to my home, look after my family, look after my kids, and also for my community that's always on, constantly checking their phones and see where's the next raid being performed, and checking to see if there's a relative that's being detained and looking out, see where he's located. And so I think that the budget should go towards having safe communities, including us, undocumented people as well. And Betty, I appreciate a lot your attention, and I ask that you consider us. We have, consider us, we're living here without any documents. And even at that, we've made this city and this country grow. But we continue doing it day to day, whether we have legal status or not. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Linda Blackford.
Never done this before, so stay in there, hang in there. Okay, I'm here to support our gated alley program. Our neighborhood was part of the pilot program when the gates went up in our area. The gates, oops. The gates have made a real difference. Our alleys are no longer illegal dumping grounds, and the gates help to deter criminal activity. Many Block Watch leaders have signed up to have the gates in their area. The gates will change their neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you. Josefa Ramirez. Oh, yeah, okay. Kathy Stillman.
My name is Kathy Stillman, and I've lived in Maryvale for 25 years. I want to know why in 2008 we needed 3,888 officers, and now we only need 2,625. Nobody's ever answered that question for me. Somebody told me Phoenix got smaller. We all know that's not true. Phoenix has gotten so much bigger since 2008. I would just like somebody to tell me the answer to that question. Thank you all very much. I support our police. And I think if you don't have a driver's license, maybe you shouldn't drive. Thank you all.
Thank you. Jesse Ortega.
Hello, Betty Guardado and everyone here. I'm with Rumbo. My name is Jesse Ortega. I've lived in Maryvale for 32 years. I have always used the bus and walking as my transportation. In the summer, I have a hard time walking because it's 4 to 6 degrees hotter. We need more shaded areas as well as green spaces. I'm here to ask for a plan to be created here for the heat mitigation office. I hope you take this into consideration. Thank you for your time.
Mary Blas.
Hi, I'm Mary. I am in District 5. I actually just came to support Linda Liu. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. So I actually just came to support Linda Liu, who is our fearless Block Watch leader. I did not realize this was a budget hearing and that there would be so many people. So surprise for me. I just want to thank Linda and Betty and Emmanuel and the rest of your staff. for filling us in about the gated alley program. When Linda first started talking to me about the neighborhood alley, the neighborhood getting the alley program as part of the pilot program, I thought it was a great idea. I had no idea how bad the alleys were with illegal dumping, trespassing, and other crimes until I actually walked the alleys with Linda. It was a little bit disturbing. It was a lot disturbing. Then Betty and Emmanuel came to our Block Watch meeting and gave us more detail about how the gated alley program works, and I was 1,000% behind it. Since its inception, it took less than 6 months to see just how effective the gated alleys have been. I very much encourage anyone who does not yet have the gated alley program in their neighborhood to petition to have them in their neighborhood. And thank you, Betty, for everything that you do for our district.
Thank you. Elizabeth Aguilar.
Hello, I'm Elizabeth. I lived in the neighborhood of residence for 30 years, over 30 years. I want to thank Betty for all the improvements that she's done for the community. I've seen it, I've seen the process from beginning to the end as far as the gated alleys, which I have one, and it helped tremendously. Friends are coming up to me, they want to know the process, so I'm giving them pamphlets of that and showing them. You have to have that gated alley, especially if you live off of 63rd on Indian School. It makes a difference. Also, I just want to mention, I just want to say to keep that funding for the alley gates. Also, the Grand Canalscape is a bike path that has going through the phases for walking and the biking. But something I do want to suggest, something that I know in Maryvale, when you say it's Maryvale, I'm hoping it's going to be building up. I want to have, hopefully, the stores bike-friendly. I ran into a situation, me and my husband are cyclists, and I was in a store, but I don't see bike to chain up your bikes. And so I said I had to go to the bank, it's in the store, so I would go in, and I couldn't even go in, because I had my bike. So if there's some type of funding, I know it's something new that every Fry's and 51st on Indian School and the other Walmart, they're not even bolted down, the bike racks. And they're just like, you can move them. So I'm like, if there's some type of funding for that, and then that way can get everybody motivated to ride their bikes to the store, be comfortable, that their bike's not going to get stolen. It's just a situation that I was actually walked out of the store because I couldn't take my bike in, but I wasn't going to leave it out there either. So it's something that to think about. So maybe even how they have the steering wheels, how they would block, so they don't steal your cars. Maybe even fund some chains to tie, the tires to the bike rack, so it won't, they won't steal it and so forth. That's something to think about, Betty. Hopefully that we can have a bike-friendly neighborhood, residents, stores, maybe to go to Fry's and pick up groceries in a three-wheeler bike and to be visible, not hidden the bike rack, maybe visible for the security can see and not just put aside. So that's something I wanted to bring up. I just want to thank everything you've done, Betty, and everyone, your staff. But that's all I wanted to say. So, thank you.
Thank you. So that was our last speaker. So I just want to thank everyone for being here, the community that was here with us tonight. Thank you guys for showing up, city staff, everyone that's been here that helped coordinate this event tonight. Ginger, thank you for being out here with me late at night. So everyone have a great night. Thank you. We got it.